If you're an athlete, you know the greatest motivator of all is the fear of letting your teammates down. After all, a team is only as good as its weakest link. So you owe it to those wearing the same jersey as you to be your best every time you step on the field. That's why there's no vape in team. When you vape, you can expose your lungs to toxic chemicals that can damage your lungs. If you're a step behind, the team's a step behind. Brought to you by The Real Cost and the FDA.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, then welcome to another edition of Games That Failed. Today's episode, I almost said video, it's going to be a video at some point in time, but anyways, today's episode, I am going to be talking on the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Remastered Edition thingamajigger, I don't know what to call it, but anyways, no, because this is the definitive, I think that's how you say that word, Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the definitive edition. Okay, there we go. So anyways, for those that did not know, Rockstar Games remastered 3 of the most iconic video games in video game history, Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice Cities, and probably the best of them all, out of all Grand Theft Auto games, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Now, a little bit of a backstory. I think some of you guys might know of this story of my history with Grand Theft Auto. But anyways, a little bit of a backstory. So, back in 2004, I believe, when Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was... Yeah, I think it was into Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Did I say 4? But 2004. Okay, I was like, my brain, it was... there's too many numbers, okay? It's too many numbers, too many games that's involved. All right, usually I'll just do one game. But anyways, when I start mentioning too many things, my brain, it goes into a confusion. But anyways, 2004, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, it gets announced. Or that's at least when I started hearing about it. Friends was asking me about it. Even I think there was, there was this elementary school that I went to where if your parents didn't have time to if they still was at work, then there was this daycare place that you would just chill at until your parents come and pick you up. So that's what my situation was. Go through school, parent wasn't there to pick me up because they both worked across town and stuff, and it was like by the time school was out, yeah, they still had some hours left and things. So anyways, so yeah, I would have to wait, but no, there was like daycare workers. I think it was a girl that worked there. Even she was talking about the game. A game is popular, right? When you got daycare workers talking about the game, bruh. They're talking about it. So, anyways, I had never heard of Grand Theft Auto up until that moment. So, yeah, people was asking me about it. I didn't know too much about it, but I guess it had just came out. So, I remember going to Target. I remember going right past the video game section. I seen Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I'm like, this is my moment. This is my opportunity. I gotta ask for this game, all right? I point up and I'm like, Mom, can I get this game? Back then, games was like $49.99, all right? So like $20 less than what they are now. Game was too expensive. Dang. I'm hurt, but I did have another option. They had Grand Theft Auto 3 right next to it, so I was like, I guess I'll get Grand Theft Auto 3. I really wanted San Andreas, but I guess I'll get Grand Theft Auto 3. So Grand Theft Auto 3 was the very first Grand Theft Auto game that I ever played. I remember it was later on that night. My dad comes home. He came home with San Andreas. Or not San Andreas, but Vice Cities. And so I'm like, fam, I'm tripping because I'm like 2 games and I'm like, bro, it ain't Christmas, it ain't a birthday. What is going on right now? All right, what's happening? So anyways, still was kind of, down and out about it and stuff. And then my dad, because he had heard about the game, so he was like, nah, that game, that's San Andreas sound crazy. I don't want my kid playing that and stuff. So anyways, I'm like, dang, bro, it's going to be very, slim if I get this game for Christmas and stuff. So I remember it was Christmas. I'm opening up gifts. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas wasn't even in my head anymore because I was like, you know what? If I get the game, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I ain't even gonna trip about it and stuff. So it wasn't even in my head. But I remember I was opening up, because it was like you could tell like when you get like a disc or something. So I was like, I know there have been some years where I got some movies and things, And then there's some years I give me some video games, and so I'm shaking it, I'm listening, I'm like, sounds like a PlayStation 2 disc, man. When I took that paper off and that thing said Grand Theft, that case said Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the level, I'm telling you, Christmas as a kid went hard, bruh. It went hard. I was flipping out when I got that game. Of course I played it. There ain't no question about that. Of course I was playing it and things. Never beat it. I had that game for so long, bruh. Never beaten that game. I still have yet to beat the 3 Grand Theft Auto games, 3 Vice Cities and San Andreas. And I'm gonna make it a point in time to where I need to sit down and play the 3 of them games and beat them. But yeah, man, I was them 3 games that it was a big part of my childhood. All right, so anyways, fast forward, it's 2021, I believe that's when they did the remastered series and stuff. Yeah. 2021, or at some point in time, they announced that they were going to come back out with the remastered editions and stuff. So they announced that. Everybody's going crazy over it because they're all like, we're going to get a remaster. Now, before I even get into it, let me just talk on some games that when I've seen remastered versions of them, I'm like, hey, yo, that looks sick. It's because I think Mafia was like that. I think the Mafia 1 and 2, they did like a whole new video game and stuff. So I was like, okay, cool, dope. What are some other games that did a remastered? Like, I feel like I need to like look it up because if I'm like trying to remastered video games, list of remakes and remastered ports. Okay, let me just see like from like the latest years and stuff. So dang, there's a lot of games that they got. That's like oh wait a second, no, I'm looking at the wrong list. Okay, Final Fantasy VII. I played that game and then looked at the one that came out back in '97. Completely different game. Let's see some other games that they got. Dead Space. Yeah, it looked slightly different. I'll give them that. The Resident Evil series, yeah, those games definitely look different. How dare they put Grand Theft Auto 5 on there talking about, it got I mean, it did, but it wasn't that much of a difference from like the last gen. So no, that don't count. I feel like that game, that does not count at all. Crisis, I mean, I don't know. The Crisis series, because I played Crisis 2 and 3, and I never did get a chance to play 1 when it released on PC. But I mean, I did get a chance to play it when when they came out on console. And yeah, I don't know, bruh. That series didn't really hit. Like it might as well. They actually took away multiplayer, so that's why I didn't really like the remastered series. But let's see. They remastered Mass Effect, huh? I mean, I guess I got it. Now I feel like I gotta see the comparisons and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, like there's games that they've remastered where it's like it's been good, and then there's some where it hasn't really been all that good. When the remastered edition of Grand Theft Auto, like the series, when it finally released, when I tell you guys, like, the disappointment, because I don't think I really talked too much. I might have talked on it. I honestly don't remember. But I know deep down inside, I was expecting something like Grand Theft Auto 4 or even 5. Because I'm like, this is pretty much the same. You guys could have just held off on this. You know, like, it didn't feel the same. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. Grand Theft Auto, the remastered editions, they did not feel the same compared to how I was playing them back when I was a kid. Now, maybe it's because I played a lot of different video games throughout the years and games have changed. But if not that, yeah, this series wasn't hitting. And so I was like, fam, Rockstar, what do you guys got going on? Now, then they came out with the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer, and I'm like, okay, it somewhat starts to make sense to me because I personally feel that they knew that they were working on Grand Theft Auto 6. They knew that they didn't have really a whole lot of time to work on that. So they're probably all like, okay, let's just slap something together real quick and then just, call it with this game and stuff. So anyways, that's what I personally feel. I felt like that it was just a game that they slapped together and was like, hey, you know what? then we gotta get back to this Grand Theft Auto 6. Because with Red Dead, and then that's another thing where it's like Red Dead Redemption 2, even Red Dead Redemption 1, I'm like, bro, when I look at these games and then look at the remastered Grand Theft Auto series, I'm like, you guys could have definitely did better with them 3 games. Because I'm like, God, those games. Now, here's what I personally think. If they ever do decide to remaster, like let's say for an example, they decide to remaster Grand Theft Auto 4. Bruh, if you guys are gonna remaster it, make that game look crazy. Make it look like some Red Dead Redemption 2 type stuff. Because I'm like, Grand Theft Auto 4, don't get me wrong, it looked nice, but you can still tell that it's an old game. I'm saying, like, if you guys are gonna come out with a game, come out with it right. Because I was like, man, with the Grand Theft Auto Remastered trilogy, I was like, bruh, that is not normal. That is not, so, when the game came out, I didn't really play too much of 3 and Vice Cities. I did play a little bit of Vice Cities. I got through that until I got stuck on a mission. Then after that, I just went on with something else. But I was playing San Andreas. And when playing that, I was like, there was a mission that I got stuck on. And I was like, I don't remember the mission being that difficult when I played it years ago. Like, even I think I remember playing it, Grand Theft Auto again on PC. I don't remember the mission being that difficult. And I think it was that mission where I had to save the girl from the fire. And I think I might have got stuck on that mission. And I'm like, there's something different with this game. And then even with 3, I was like, I think I made it a little bit further on 3 back then than I did now. And I'm like, the controls feel so weird. So the controls, all off, okay? The visuals, definitely off, because they had it where when they showed a comparison of that first girlfriend that you get in San Andreas when you save her from the fire, they showed a comparison of how she looked back then and then how she looked now, and I'm like, bruh, is she on drugs? I'm like, that don't look right. That does not look right at all. I'm like, fam, like there were some things that they did where it was like, okay, that cool, I guess. But then there was other things where I was like, okay, because maybe because I'm just talking on it now, and maybe I need to play it because I'm like, they might have changed it. They might have updated it. They might have done some things. But if not, and it's still the same exact stuff that I played when that remastered series came out, bro, I'm telling you, they could have held off on that. They very well could have held off on that because I'm like, look, don't get me wrong. Rockstar Games is a well-established company, all right? Well-established company. But at times, they do things where it don't settle too well with the fans. For an example, the stuff that they were doing with Grand Theft Auto 5. So, a part of me should have known that there wasn't a whole lot that was going to be done with this remastered series that they was going to come out with. And I'm like, and yeah, then it was like when it came out, I was like, oh. And I'm like, bruh, I'm not even playing those games. The crazy thing about it, so then that was another thing that I remember seeing with Rockstar Games, was that people, so with the older Grand Theft Auto games, because I have the 3 of the old ones on my Steam account. So they set it up to where you couldn't buy those games no more. Then people that were doing visual mods, because you had some people out there that did visual mods to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and I was like, bruh, you guys should have contacted them to remaster that game. But you guys relied on yourself, and I'm like, bro, that's not, no. So here's, because if it had been left up to me, this is what I would have done. I would have contacted one of the people that be doing visual mods, and I'm like, hey, would you like to have it where we give your game or your version of Grand Theft Auto 3 Vice Cities and San Andreas a full release? All right, we'll pay you some money and stuff, or I mean not well, okay, because I've died now. That sounded kind of scummy and things. We'll pay you, okay? We'll make sure we pay you good. Like we'll pay you, because I'm like, obviously, you know, it's our game, so it's like what, like maybe 60-40, 30-70, something like that. You're gonna be definitely getting paid. But it's like, yeah, let's just have it where it's like, yeah, you know, you make some good money off of this and things, where it's like, hey, we're remastering these games. This modder is behind it. We give you credit, shout you out, let you know, do a whole behind the scenes, short film, whatever it is that you want. But it's like, yeah, I'm going to make sure I help somebody out in the process, you know? But they had it where they shut down the people's mods that was coming out with like mod things for the because they already had Grand Theft Auto to where you could buy it. I'm like, bruh, the thing is this. they didn't even really need to remaster it. All they could have just done was have it where it's like, we optimize the controllers that are out today for like the Grand Theft Auto, but we're just gonna re-release them. We're not doing like no remastered stuff. We're just gonna re-release it. You guys very well could have did that, left it up to the community to do whatever they wanted to do with it, called it a day. But you guys came out with some stuff, and I'm like, I don't even get what this is. So that's why I'm like, hey, look, if you guys are gonna remaster some games, just do it right. And I'm like, and now I'm worried because I know at some point in time they probably are gonna remaster Grand Theft Auto 4, and I'm like, I just know that it is not gonna hit at all. And I'm like, who knows? Maybe it might, but I'm like, you're gonna have to do something that's different with that game, but. I don't know, man. Let's see what they plan on doing with it. But anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure you follow me across all social media platforms at TMossBoss. Like and subscribe if you're viewing this on YouTube, and peace.